Tonight it is the best night of the week. Tuesday, that means one thing. Fight night. Guys, welcome back to the What Life. Let's roll. So fight night is my local chain gang. For anyone that wasn't around last summer, I was basically getting my ass handed to me regularly on a Tuesday night in an organised rolling chain gang. Not organised by a club, just a group of guys and girls that meet at a petrol station outside Windsor to roll turns and then attack each other for 60 minutes. We're also looking at a new set of wheels. We have a new set of Alien L6 wheels, 60 mil. Let me throw it back to before I jumped on the bike, give you a bit of info. 30 seconds before I head out to my local chain gang. These are the Alien, these are the L6s, these are 60 mil deep, they are 25 mil internals. This is the first time I've ridden 25 mil internals. I've swapped out the the Elite Drive wheels, the Helix, I have a 21 mil internal. This is a 28 mil tyre, and honestly, it feels like a 32, so I've got a suspicion that rolling on a 25 internal and a 28 mil tyre is going to be the sweet spot. Someone phone up Dylan Johnson. Let me get some of the other tech stuff out of the way. These are 1,280-ish, give or take 30 grams, 1,280. These come with carbon spokes, which I think make it help make it a little bit lighter, but also the finish on these, it's like a real matte, plain, straight out the carbon manufacturing finish. They don't end up painting or glossing the wheels at all, which helps keep the weight down a little bit, and it comes up with this like brushed kind of carbon look that looks awesome. So a lot of people have commented on that today already when I just shared it across social media. And the other thing to point out is that it's not kind of side pull spokes. These spokes are attached through, so straight pull spokes, which I think gets a big tick from some of the internet warriors who might watch a bit of Pete talk. Anyway, let's go and take these out to the local chain gang. Right, a few other things to mention. These are hooked wheels. So in simple sense, think of it this way. Another wheel that is 25 mil internal is the MV SES. That is a £3,500 wheel, 25 mil internal, and they are hookless. This wheel is $1,300, and I do have a discount code that is down below that I will provide you if you want some money off. And it is 25 mil internal and it's hooked. When you are running 25 mil internal, I think you have to run at least a 28 mil tire upwards. I don't think you can really get a skinnier tire on these, but I will say it really does change the feel. You know, a wide rim changes the way that because I'm running 28s on all my other wheels. My Drive Helix is a 21 internal, Lun Hyper is a 23 internal, this is a 25 internal, all running 28s, and they all ride differently because of it. It's a lightweight wheel, it's lighter than the Drive Helix, I think it's a bit lighter than the Lun Hyper that I run. Obviously when you make these videos, the one thing you can't really talk about is the durability of these wheels. But I do hope to ride this and the others throughout the summer and kind of keep reporting back on them. Thus far I haven't had any problems with the Lun Hyper or the Drive Helix, so I'm hoping I have the same with this, which is, you know, it is a star ratchet, which is my preferred system for hubs. It's a 36 tooth ratchet, which is great. So we'll obviously have to do a hub test later, but if you don't like the sound of it, you can easily swap out to a 56 tooth because it's super easy to do. It doesn't look like, and I'll show you some B-roll of the ratchet now, it doesn't necessarily look like the hub is weather sealed, and that's something that the elite drive guys have put a bit of effort into, which is protecting the hub body. This is pretty standard now, coming from where these wheels are made, the ratchet system that they are using, and it seems to work really well. So there's absolutely no problems with it. I'm a fair weather cyclist at the best of times. Try and avoid getting my bike and my hubs too wet or anything bearing based. Try and avoid the rain. But the look of them is something that a few guys have commented on. I don't know where the name comes from, but that kind of bare carbon look where it's untreated is almost like the direct opposite of the elite drive wheels, which has that polished marble feel to it. And I have to say, I do quite like the untreated bare look. Let's give it a quick hub check. I have heard louder hubs, but you can swap out the 36th tooth to 56 if you want a bit more whiz to it. But for me, that's all good going. So, what is fight night? Fight night is Chris Miller's wet dream, if we're honest. It's a group of guys and girls who meet up Tuesday night, groups of 4 to 10 riders, different speeds, different sized groups or different paced groups. And yeah, we roll turns for an hour, and basically just over halfway there's a hill. Riders attack each other, try and do 5 to 20 seconds on the front, a little bit longer if you're kind of in some of these slightly slower groups and you want to do a nice kind of not too heavy but a casual pull. You know, you're more than welcome to. My goal tonight is to I've learned a lot. I've learned so much over the last 12 months of racing and riding and chain gangs. My goal is to roll off the front as quickly as possible. I used to have a bit of anxiety about like getting to the front and like having to do my thing. Not anymore. I'm like, if I get on the front, I'm rolling straight off, little elbow flick, that's going to be me done. That's my goal for tonight. It's early season, still the end of April. I'm hoping a few of the guys didn't bring their good legs because we're not in the middle of the race season just yet. So I might have half a chance holding a fast group. Right, so you can let me know how you think I do tonight, because I'm hoping that I've had some progression. I actually think my watts are a little bit worse than they were last year, so we might be relying on talent, which in itself is a worrying thought. It's 6:15. Cheney starts at 6:30. We're a couple of minutes away from the garage. I think it's time for fight night.
Pulling that way into another. What's it gonna be? Where's your head at? Where's my head at? Watch how the waves they're chasing each other, and they let it be. Where's the shore at? Where's the shore at? Loud gets louder, fast gets faster. I don't know which of us is right, but let's just get on the same page tonight. The same page tonight. I don't know which of us is right, but let's just get on the same page tonight. The same page tonight. One to patiently. Don't know which of us is right, but let's just get on the same page tonight. The same page tonight.
Obviously, I am off. I'm a bit annoyed, but I can't be annoyed. The thing that gets to me, it's not that they're better than me, because I know they're better than me. The thing that gets to me is just how much better those boys are at riding bikes than I am. Whoa, the lad in front of me, Oscar, his pulls just destroyed me trying to sit on his wheel. And then, you know, the guys are really nice, they're so supportive. I always feel bad because they've gone from a 5 down to a 4, and the one that's dropped is the guy doing the soft pulls. So now you get 4 hard pulls rather than 4 hard pulls and a soft pull. But anyway, Oscar just pulling watts that are way above my pay grade. And like I said, the boys are so supportive. You know, obviously they're shouting at me to stay on because they don't want me to mess it up. But also they are just being supportive, you know, and they're happy to tell me to take short pulls on the front. And I'm not trying to be a hero. Like, trust me, I am trying to get off the front as soon as possible, but I still get caught in that kind of like, you have to do something, where in actual fact, well, I should do nothing. I should do less than nothing. But I think that's my lesson learned though. Drop down to the middle group. Unless my FTP gets to 320 watts, maybe more, then I can't roll with those boys, unfortunately. And I can tell you now, I'm nowhere near that. So I've got to get back into the short form training, Zwift races, some more interval stuff, over-unders, just the horrible stuff that I have not done for 5 or so weeks. This is gonna suck. Luckily it is a loop, so I can circle around, pick them up on the way back, and take basically an easy night whilst those guys do the work, and I catch them whilst they're a bit more fatigued. The whole point of fight night is slow group goes first, middle group, then faster group. So, you know, by the end of it, the fast group should pass the other groups. So it does mean that if you're in the fast group and you get dropped, you've got nowhere to go. So it also should also mean that when I catch them or when they come back round, should be able to drop into one of the middle, hopefully drop into the middle group. Thanks, dude. See you on another one.
Good session. So, which way are you going?
I'm going to go
Just let me know.
round and then back over Eaton Bridge. Right, the absolute hands down best thing about that is the fact that I can feel like an absolute idiot, like getting dropped by 4 really strong riders. And I know that I shouldn't because they're really strong riders and I just like to give it a crack. But then you dive in on another group and you just have a great time again. You're like, oh, okay, this is cool. So A, it tells me that I should probably just start with a more reasonable group. Oh, the ratchet on this does actually sound That 36 tooth ratchet sounds all right. You probably want a higher tinge to that though, so swap it out for a 56. Anyway, yeah, it's great that you can, you know, feel like 1 second you're just down in the dumps, you're like, oh, this sucks. And then the next you're like, this is the best thing ever, I'm having a laugh. That's what I like about fight night. And that's why I will always be here on a Tuesday night. I haven't done enough short form racing. I need to get back into like 20-minute, 40-minute Zwift races. Need to get my crit legs back and then hopefully come back. I'm never going to do that fast group, that super fast group. They're only going to get quicker over the summer, but I can definitely feel that I am getting stronger. I hope, I think, maybe, perhaps. So also, we had a bit of a debrief back at the petrol station afterwards, and the 4-up that dropped me, they did concede that Oscar, the guy who was on the front when I got dropped, he put in a hard turn, and they said that it eased up a bit after I fell off. I love the way that always happens, always seems to be the case. And yeah, and then they said one of the other riders was happy to kind of skip a turn every now and again. So, you know, don't be fooled into thinking that there's just mega riders out there and they're mega riders the whole time. You know, everyone has the chink in their armor. So just because they're pulling well for the 7 minutes that I'm there, you know, it does show that as athletes, as bike riders, you know, everyone has their time when they're feeling good and then they suddenly don't feel quite so good. I mean, they're still really strong riders, but there is a dynamic to it always. You know, don't beat yourself up thinking that the good guys are just always super strong, super good. They are also suffering and working hard and putting in the effort themselves to get where they have got to. And that comes with being willing to take those licks, you know, being willing to be on a fast group and roll your turns and then skip some turns, or, you know, roll your turns at 420 watts and then, you know, at the back end you're rolling your turns at 380 or whatever. I was not rolling turns at 420 watts. Right, the last thing I'll say as I take this one home is 28mm tires on a 25 internal. That could be my new thing. Really nice, enjoyable way to ride. They feel like a lightweight wheel. I'm not going to bang on too much about them because, you know, I've taken them out for an hour, got dropped on a group ride, and then rolled turns with some boys. You know, it's a good test, not the best test, but yes, I will ride them a lot more. Here's the key features. They're a ratchet system, 36 tooth, 1,280 odd grams, around about that, for a 60mm deep with a 25 internal. They have a bare finish to them, which makes them a little bit firmer, and they feel that way. Carbon spokes, and that's about the lot. Oh yeah, and they're straight pull spokes rather than side pull. So they have a lot going for them, but they are $1,300. And if you ask me, they are a good wheel. Right, that's gonna probably wrap that up. I'll obviously keep you guys abreast because I'm gonna take these racing, because I think cornering on a 28mm tire that's got a wider diameter because of the wider width because of the wheel feels nicer. So we'll see how that pans out for me. I'm gonna stick with them for a bit. Anyway, that's the first fight night of the year. Had its good moments, definitely had its bad moments, but we'll be back next week. Guys, thanks for sticking around. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if you so desire, and I'll see you on another one soon.